them in and out. All right, here we are. We're coming in safari. The first animal we see is the black buck. The black buck, right here. These are females and young males. We know that they're females because they don't have horns and they're also lighter in color. We also see the oodad over here. The oodad, I know, he looks like a goat, right? He's actually, another name for him is the Barbary sheep. Looks like a goat, it's called a sheep, but the oodad, he's a great climber, and you can tell the difference between males and females. Males will have larger, thicker horns than the females. All right, making our way to the first section, the Americas, right here. We're in New Jersey. We're in the Americas, right here. We're right at home with the Americas. First animal we see, it is off to my right. That would be your left over here. It's backwards. I gotta think backwards here. It's your left. Right here's the Roosevelt elk. Roosevelt elk is named for the 26th President of the United States, Teddy Theodore Roosevelt, or Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, to be proper. He's the champion, the president behind the National Park System. He developed the National Park System, so we named the Roosevelt elk after him. Roosevelt elk will shed their antlers once a year, and they'll grow back each year. We go from the Roosevelt elk to the American bison. The American bison is the symbol of the North American Great Plains. It is also on our conservation pin this year. We have conservation pins with the American bison and also with the European brown bear. They're for sale for $5. The donation of $5 gets you one of these pretty little bins. And all the money raised goes to wildlife conservation. Those big American bison, 2,400 pounds. 2,400 pounds. They're a big animal. They can still move at 35 miles an hour. I can't move at 35 miles an hour, and I'm close to 2,400 pounds, so not exactly. Llamas over here. A lot of people think llamas are like alpacas. They're more closely related to camels. They can go long periods of time without water. You know how camels store their water? Same thing as llamas. They can go long periods of time without water. We have over here some white fallow deer. The difference between the white fallow deer and the white-tailed deer, or the fallow deer and the white-tailed deer. Fallow deer keep their spots. The white-tailed deer, the ones you see in your yard, their spots go as they get older. Fallow deer, their spots stay and actually get more pronounced as they get older. Oh, look at this exotic animal, the Canadian geese. You've never seen one of those before, right? Of course, they're not part of safari trope. They're welcome to stay here. Who wouldn't want to stay here? They get food, they get friends, they coexist nicely with other species of animals. See that bird out there? That's what's called a rhea. A rhea is a flightless bird. Flightless bird is a ratite. It's called a ratite. There are also emus and ostriches are also ratites. They don't fly. They lack a breastbone. To fly, birds need a breastbone. So like you might see a turkey. It's like some turkey Thanksgiving. See the breastbones? Turkeys fly. Rheas, they don't fly. So take a look at this rhea right here. You see the dark feathers around the neck right there? Dark feathers around a rhea's neck means it's a male. Male has the dark feathers. The females have a grayish type feather. Let's see. This one's got the dark. That's a male. Right there. You see the dark feathers. These rheas can move to 30 miles an hour. So they're pretty quick on their feet as well. Moving out of the Americas, we're going to cross the Atlantic Ocean. First, we're going to say hey to the gate guy. What's going on, Cameron? Doing all right? Good to see you. Good to see you. We're going to move across the Atlantic Ocean, go across the Cape Verde Islands, and we're going to come onto the continent of Africa. Africa is where we see a lot of our larger animals. We're going to see, we see elephants in Africa. We see rhinos in Africa. A lot of our larger
giraffes
throughout Africa. And they go
groundhog.
This is like a little groundhog here. Kind of coming again, not part of the tour. Don't be like, I went to rhinos can be between 4,000 and 6,000 pounds. They're near threatened. Their conservation says near threatened. So we really got to protect these guys because we don't want them to go to that endangered species. Near threatened. So when we have in a controlled environment like this, we can breed them, we can care for them, make sure they survive. That keeps them out of that endangered species. Ostrich, take a look at the biggest bird in the world. Ostrich is the biggest bird in the world. It stands at 9 feet, and just like the rhino that we just saw, it's a flightless bird. The ones that are darker are the males, and the ones that are grayish are females. We make our way through Africa, right? I'm pretty sure we said we're in Africa, so let me introduce you in Africa here. Let me introduce you to the Asian water buffalo. I know it's confusing, right? So I told you in Africa, you're going to see the Asian water buffalo. Here are these guys over here. The reason we have them in Africa, here in the Africa section, is because this is where our water is. This is where our ponds are. These guys spend 80% of their life in the water. Can you imagine being in the bath for 80% of your life? Nobody wants to do that, right? But these guys do. They want to spend 80% of their life in the water. Of course, this is the 20% of the time. This is still 20%. They're on land. These guys are domesticated. We domesticated them here. They're easy to care for. There are Asian water buffalo out in the wild, although their numbers are dwindling because they're crossbreeding with the domesticated ones. So as they crossbreed with the domesticated ones, they become domesticated and their numbers in the wild shrink. Those guys who live in the water, they have an extra joint. It's above their ankle. It's called a fetlock. And the fetlock is this joint that helps them dig down into the ponds. And it helps them gain traction so they can walk. You put a regular American bison in the water, he might get stuck. He might slip. Not those guys. Those
Turtle.
Right ponds.
Like this big.
Those ponds. You might notice we have gates. We crossed from America to Africa. Now we're going to cross from Africa into the wild plains. I keep moving this thing because it's too big for the little brace around the back. I got to keep moving it to the front of my mouth. They need to make a bigger one for my big head here, so I'll get one of those. These gates, they separate each one of the sections here, so the animals, they just stay more comfortable with the animals that they would normally grow up with and live with out in the wild. Oh, look at that, we got the gate. We got the warranty, we got the gate guard here. We got the gate guard. I almost. We got the gate guard coming through. We're making our way to the wild plains. All right, so the wild plains, we see a lot of hoof stock. So this is my first time ever working with animals. Right? I was in the news business for 30 years. And I said, I want to do something different. I'm going to get a job with these animals right here. The first woman that trained me, right? She says, what do you know about antelopes? And I said, absolutely nothing. I know zero about antelopes. And I realized pretty quickly I better learn because she loved antelopes and I wanted to ingratiate myself to her, get on her good side. So I'm going to tell you what I know about the hoof stock, about the antelopes as we make our way wild. Flip it around and go on the other side. Oh my goodness. Alright, does that sound any better? Yeah, it's a little bit better. I just want to make sure everybody can everybody hear me? You know what? I can speak loud actually. I can speak without it. Ellipsis waterbuck over there. You know another ellipsis waterbuck? Take a look at the back, at their behind. It looks like they sat on a toilet with red paint. They got up and there's a ring around their bottom. That's an ellipsis waterbuck, hence the name. They live around the water. Right there we see the white-bearded gnu. The white-bearded gnu is also called the blue wildebeest. The blue wildebeest takes part in the Great Migration. He moves with 1 billion animals, zebras, gazelles. They all move in search of fresh pasture and fresh water. Wow, this is a rare sighting right here. Take a look off to your right. That is, can remind me what that is. That's it. This goes to the forest right there. Right, the African bongo goes to the forest. African bongo goes to the forest because he's rarely studied. It's actually hard to find them. We have them right here at Six Flags. Coming up on your right here, my left, we have 4 black buck. Again, the black buck, these are males. males. These are males right here.
I zoomed
You
in.
notice
I
they
thought
have
that
all
rock
the,
was an animal.
all the horns. Now you see some of the younger ones, they have that lighter brown color, and then you see the dark one in the middle right there. These are older guys. These are older guys. As they get older, they get more like a local type color. Let's see. You guys see an elephant back there? Oh, there he is, right there. You see the elephant back there? Elephants. They're in danger. We really need to protect them. They're in danger. There's only about just over 400,000 of them left in the wild. And again, we know that's an African elephant because of the shape of his ears. Taking a look, we have giraffes. You guys know what a giraffe is, right? You see the giraffe? We have giraffe. We have scimitar horned oryx. These guys right here. Scimitar horned oryx. And these are red and collie cattle. Interesting thing about the red and collie cattle, they're named after the Tutsi people in East Africa. They're also called Watusi cattle. Giraffe. Sad facts. They're facing a silent extinction. Their numbers are dwindling each year. So it's called silent extinction, and their conservation status is endangered. Giraffe, again, they're called reticulated giraffe, named after the pattern on them. We have 7 vertebrae in our neck. They have 7 vertebrae in their neck. Their necks are a lot longer. Our necks are about maybe front, maybe 10 inches. Their necks go up to 7 feet. So their vertebrae, those 7 vertebrae in their neck are a lot bigger.
The zebras are staring at us.
The babies literally come out and they drop 6 feet to the ground. They drop 6 feet. They're going to learn pretty quickly how to stand up. Giraffes also walk in a parallel. They have a parallel gait because their legs are so big. It actually looks like they're moving in slow motion. Now, like I mentioned, my first job in animals all my life. I lived my adult life. I was more of a spa kind of person myself. I was not a camper. I was a hotel and spa kind of person. So I love Savannah Sunset Spa right here. You can get a both days. Like, go ahead, young man. What's your question?
What is the rarest animal? What is the rarest animal?
Oh, we have a bunch of rare ones here. We're gonna get the tigers are really rare. 350 left in the world.
Most rarest.
Yeah, I was gonna say the addict. The addict is there's only 60 addicts in the world. 60 addicts, and we have those. They weren't out. It's a little bit cold for the addicts, but that is the rarest one that we have. Again, this beautiful but not rare. It's a spa. It's a resort. You can stay here, multi-night stay. You can come. You can feed the giraffes. You wake up and see the animals kind of milling about right there from your terrace. We have a restaurant here. We have a spa here. We even have a Starbucks here. White with green lettering. They're not endangered. They're at least concerned. Plenty of Starbucks all over North America, including right here in Jackson, New Jersey. Off in the distance, we see some fallow deer. You can see the horns on them. We're going to get a better look as we come around the other side. But there's a whole herd of fallow deer. So we're coming over these crates here. We have these crates here. Some of our stock, it kind of deters them from crossing over to where they shouldn't be. The grace, some can cross over anyway. They don't care. That's why we have this kind of race. We learned about
Oh, they're running.
This is his cousin over here. It's called the white-tailed gnu, and we see that because they have the white tail. The white-tailed gnu.
It really wants that food.
They're also called the black wildebeest. Remember I mentioned that the blue wildebeest participates in the Great Migration? Not as buddy. They don't want to travel that far. They don't want to travel that far. They do travel in search of water, but they kind of keep it local.
They're fighting.
And they're called the black wildebeest. They also have different horns. You see they have the curved horns there. The blue wildebeest has more of a straight out horn. Here we have some addicts. I didn't know what an addict, not an addict, that's the oodad. Oodad addicts, that's the oodad right there. Addicts are over here to the white. See the?
Whoa.
No, that's not addicts. Yeah, that's
ostrich.
Addicts. If the addicts were out, you notice that this nice white have this nice white coat that actually reflects the sun in the summertime, and in the wintertime their coat turns black and it absorbs. Addicts, very rare. Only 60 addicts left in the world. Are they coming out? Yeah, they're out. Yeah. We'll see them coming on the other side.
They're cute.
Out here, right here, we have a female ostrich hanging out right here. We have a female ostrich. Of course, we know that from her gray coloring. We have two types of oryx here also. We have the Bisa oryx, a form of antelope, and we have the scimitar horned oryx here. The Bisa oryx, they can raise their body temperature to 116 degrees to reduce the sweat. Keeps them nice and cool. Oh, check this out, sable antelope right here. Got a good look at sable antelope. Sable antelope, you see those curved horns on them? They can actually flip a lion over their head. A lion will try to punt them, and they'll be like, no, and bend out, flip them over their head. They're edge species. They live out on the edge of town out there. Now, they live on the edge of the grasslands, not on the edge of town. They don't care about town. Let's see. Oh, check out that ostrich egg over there. See, ostriches. Oh yeah, that's the left side. The left. My right, your left. Ostrich egg sitting over there. Ostrich eggs have a very strong shell. We could stand on an ostrich egg. It wouldn't break. You have to take a hammer or a drill to break open a ostrich egg. Ostrich egg can have as much protein as 24 chicken eggs in one ostrich egg. They weigh up to 3 pounds. All right, who came to see the Lions? Anybody come to see the Lions? Great. Now, we're not talking about the Detroit Lions. We're talking about the actual Lions. And we're going to see them up here as we make our way into Kingston. Who has heard that a lion is called the king of the jungle? All right, I want to tell you, that is false. Well, you know, it's called the king of the jungle. He don't live in the jungle. Lions do not live in the jungle. They live in the grassland. So we should change it to the king of the grassland. You see some lions out there? We have 3 prides of lions. Prides are the groups that lions live in. So we have 3 prides of lions here in the Safari Off-Road Adventure. Here we have a mixed pride, males and females. We can tell the difference between the males and females. The males have full manes and they're bigger and they're heavier. The females, they don't have those big manes. They're a little more demure. They're a little, less muscular. They weigh less than the males. So, like I said, the females they're more demure. They weigh less. But who do you think does the hunting for the lions? Who goes out and does the hunting for the lions?
Females.
The female does it. The female. The girls do it. The girls do the hunting.
Oh,
now,
they're
who do you think
cleaning
eats
each other.
first? Who eats first? The male eats first. So the female hunts it, brings it back. The male eats first.
Why is the one
then
having
the
its mouth
female,
open?
then the cubs.
It's hot.
Right here, we have some females. We have some males just kind of lounging. Hey, do you guys know why they just kind of lounge? They don't look like they're kind of relaxing. Lions have small hearts. They have small hearts. They don't have a lot of stamina. They'll sit and just kind of hang out for up to 18 hours a day. The females are only successful in their hunts 25% of the time. Because they run, if they don't catch it, that's it, they give up. They give up because they're tired due to small hearts and blood flow, pumping the oxygen through their blood.
Sometimes they will actually.
Making our way through, we hope you enjoyed the King's Land, so the Lions here. Now we're going to come back to North America. We're going to come back to North America, and we are going to see the bears. It's my favorite part of the park. I love the bears. Hey, Kim! What's going on? Hey to Kim. I have a gate guard here. You know, we have all kinds of people here. We have tour guides, we have drivers, we have gate guards, we have boarders. It takes a lot of people to run the safari. The bears! Check it out. This one just kind of laying there by the fence. These are American black bears. American black bears are these black bears. Climb trees. Black bears. Guys, what county you live in? Anybody want to volunteer their county? What county do you guys live in? You live in Monmouth County, like me, we're neighbors. I live in Monmouth County as well. You know what? There are bears every county. You take a look at this cub. The cub's around a year old. He's got a sibling they hang out. Looks like he's looking for
the one is sitting.
right now.
The one is sitting
Not only are they in every county in New Jersey, but American black bears are in every state except for one. So there are 49
Hawaii.
states. Who is the one that they're not in?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. That's right. They can't get all the way over there. Too far to swim. Now they can swim. They can swim. They're just not swimming across the Pacific Ocean to get to Hawaii, but they are in the other 49 states. American black bears are known as opportunistic omnivores. That means they'll eat anything. Absolutely anything.
What is the most dangerous bear?
The most dangerous bear is the polar bear. The polar bear is like 12, 13 feet tall, and don't encounter one. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to get graphic, but do not encounter a polar
Well, yeah,
bear.
they're a type of grizzly bear.
American black bears are all over the place. Again, 450 states. Who remembers Yogi Bear and Boo Boo? You know, as old as me, remember Yogi Bear? Maybe they'll eat everything that's in the picnic basket? That's true. That's what they'll do. You leave out a picnic basket, they'll just rummage right through it and eat everything everything out
get
there.
into
We
your
have one
cars.
just kind of hanging out over there, just kind of living his best life. All right, we're making our way out of the black bear section. Of course, we see more of our gate guards. Gate guards kind of open and close the gates as needed to keep the animals in their section. So like I promised, over on the other side of the park there, we're going to get a better look at these fallow deer over here. And you see, we have a mix of males and females. Again, the males have horns, and the females do not. So the horns, they'll have this velvety kind of substance on the, not the horns, they're antlers. Antlers are on the deer, they're not horns. Horns are on the Chevrolet, I have a horn at home. On the Chevrolet, those are antlers, I don't have antlers. So anyway, the antlers, they have this velvety type substance on it, and they rub it against the trees. So we have the kind of fences on the trees, so if you rub around it, it protects the trees from dying. See the fallow deer, the males are bucks, the females are does, and these babies are called fawns. All right, did y'all enjoy the American black bears? Y'all like the bears? Well, that's good, because now we're going to see their cousin, the European brown bear. So I was going to be disappointed. He said, no, we hated the bears. I was like, man, well then, Billy, what's going on, man? Good to see you. We're disappointed if you didn't like the bears, but about to see more. Of course, European brown bears, just like it says in the name, they're from over there. They're from Europe. They're from Northern Europe and Asia. Unlike the American black bear, the European brown bear, they'll have straight claws, not curved claws. They can climb trees. They will climb trees, but not like the American black bear. Not as often. The European brown bear, so they hibernate, right? And there's this misconception, there's this fallacy that they hibernate because they're tired. That is not true. They hibernate because they gorge themselves with food in the spring, in the summer, in the fall. They get to be fat cats, except they're not cats, they're bears. They get to be fat bears. They eat something to stop them. They go to sleep. Now the females, they can actually give birth while they're in hibernation. They're just kind of chilling up there, hanging out. They can give birth while in hibernation. So they're sleeping, all of a sudden they have a baby, and what do they do after that? They stay up, change diapers, give it a bottle? No, they go back to sleep. Give the baby, go back to sleep. Come on, hanging out in the ditch, right there. Bears have this big kind of mass on their back. That is not fat. That is all muscle. That muscle helps them dig the holes, pick up the rocks, pick up trees. They're very strong animals. Get a great look over here off to your right. Great look at this bear just kind of hanging out over there. You can see those claws. See the claws? How they're kind of straight right there? Again, not the best for climbing. A lot of time when the weather's warmer, we'll see them hanging out in the water in here. And it's kind of interesting to see. They'll just sit there like they're hanging out in a pool, like they're relaxing. So when they have babies in hibernation, when the baby needs
there's
to
a person
eat, they'll make
with
a
the bear.
hum. Like mother wakes up, feeds the baby, goes
What does that one do?
goes back to sleep. Oh, here.
Like, look.
Check out this one over here, off to your off to my right,
see
your
him?
left. I got to think backwards. Off to your left. He's just kind of scratching himself over there, hanging out against the pole.
Yes.
And there we go, just kind of chilling for us.
Stands out.
Nice and up close, European black
Huh?
right here in New Jersey. So speaking of New Jersey, our home, is everybody here from New Jersey? Anybody from anywhere else? No, well, welcome. We're all neighbors right here. We're all neighbors in New Jersey. Right here, we're moving into, what's going on? Enjoying the sun? Right here with the conservation land. This is 52 acres of untouched New Jersey land. When Great Events opened in 1974, they did a deal with the county that they would leave this section as conservation for any animal that just wanted to come hang out here. Earlier we saw some white-tailed deer here. White-tailed deer are the deer that you see in your backyard. We'll see turtles, we'll see squirrels, we'll see red foxes, we'll see Virginia opossums. You know, the Virginia opossum is the only marsupial in North America. You know what makes it the only marsupial? It keeps babies in its pouch. Just like a kangaroo. It's a marsupial. We'll see them all here in this conservation land right here. Anybody ever heard of the pine barrens in New Jersey?
Yeah.
This is the northernmost section of the pine barrens. This is considered the pine barrens. Pine barrens got their name from pine trees and the barren land. See, the land you can't build on this, it's all swampland. So it's called the pine barrens. There's a song in the 70s, in the line, it said, somewhere in the swamps of Jersey. It's right here. This is what they're talking about. This is the swamps of Jersey, right here. It's the pine barrens. Again, untouched. Our board won't touch this land. You know, if an animal needs help, clean out the road from the storm, yeah, they'll clean it up. But otherwise, this just remains natural. This is just natural land. Alright, so as we make our way out of New Jersey, let's take a ride southward. Let's go south on Route 9 for your Broward County people going south on Route 9. Let's go south down the turnpike, south over the Delaware Memorial Bridge, all the way down 95 south. We hit Florida, then we gotta swim. Where are we gonna get to? We're gonna get to Australia. That's where we are right now, the land down under, Australia. We call this didgeridoo pass. Anybody know what a didgeridoo is?
Yeah.
It's a large wooden instrument. It's about 6 feet long. It makes a twanging sound. It goes wow, wow, wow. That's what a didgeridoo sounds like. And it's again found in Australia. So here at Didgeridoo Pass, Australia, we're going to take a look at some emus. We're going to take a look at some kangaroos. Emus, y'all know, you know emu from that commercial, right? That insurance commercial. It's got the emu on it. So I suggested maybe just put the gate guard in Doug. He's in the commercial, Doug and the emus. It was great. We hung out with the emus. Emus are large, flightless birds. Again, they're rat types along with the rhea and the ostrich. Interesting about rat types, the females lay the eggs, the males then incubate the eggs, and when the babies are born, the male raises the babies. There's a dad that does his business right there. He takes care of his business. So rat types, emus also, they have these blue rings around their ears. A lot of people think they're their eyes. They're not. Their ears have this blue ring, their eyes on the front of their head, just like we are. So what would you think you'd find? There right there, there's an emu right there. What do you think you'd find in Australia? Kangaroos, right? Kangaroos. Well, here's some kangaroos right here. Check them out. The males are called jacks or boomers. The females are called Jills, and the babies are called Joeys. Right here. You can tell the males from the females. The males have that reddish color, called red kangaroos, and the females have the grayish type color. They kind of sit in that lounging pose because they have hip bones that are fused together. They kind of sit like that. They don't walk, they hop. Also to be known is kangaroos have 5 legs. They got the 2 up front, they got the 2 down back, and their tail is considered the 5th leg because they can leverage themselves on that tail. A lot of times you'll see them sparring. They kind of fight and play, and they'll use that tail to leverage themselves. Making our way out, one last fact about the kangaroo, they can care for 2 babies at once, one in their pouch and one outside. The females produce 2 different types of milk, one for the inside baby, one for the outside baby. So moms are pretty good taking care of little kids. Moving out of Australia, we're coming to Asia. Tigers Asia, I know a young man asked about endangered animals. Siberian tiger was an endangered animal. Guess how many Siberian tigers are left in the wild? Yes. 152. Not that far off. But there's a very specific number, by the way. 350. About 350. 350 in the world. I talked to more than 350 people today. 350 left in the world. The tigers that we have here at Six Flags are Siberian tigers. Who knows where Siberian tigers are from?
Siberia.
Come on, folks, they're Siberian tigers. Who knows where Siberian tigers are from?
Russia.
Siberia! Thank you, young lady. Thank you. Yes, they're from Siberia. Siberia is in eastern Russia. It's north of China, by Mongolia, right here. And they also live in Jackson, New Jersey. You're seeing Siberian tigers right here. They have the classic Siberian tiger coloring. They are the orange with the black stripes and the white fur. You know, that's not just their fur. If you shave the Siberian tiger down, you would see those stripes imprinted on their skin. Interesting fact about these 5 Siberian tigers, they're siblings. They were all born to one litter. A female Siberian tiger they can have litters between 1 and 6. 1 and 6 cubs. Average is about 2 to 3. The mother of these guys had 5. 5 at one time. It's 4 females and 1 male. Tigers are kind of a solitary animal. They like to be on their own. They're also what's called as an apex predator. An apex predator means they can run, swim, and climb. And he's checking us out right there. He's giving us a good look over there. Again, there's only about 350 left in the wild. They are an endangered species. So it's very important for us to have conservation here of them to keep their species going. It's almost our responsibility so they don't become extinct. And again, so we talked about the lion, king of the jungle. The tiger is actually the biggest cat in the world, not the lion. So I don't know why the tiger gets so disrespected. It doesn't mean called the king, but he's not. He's the largest tiger, the largest cat in the world. We make our way out of the tigers, and we're going to make our way out of the safari. You see I'm friendly with all the king guys. What's up, Rachel? You doing all right today? Good to see you. Good to see you. Always good to be friends with who you work with. You know, makes a nice, stable environment. Making our way out of the safari. What was your guys' favorite animal? What was your favorite animal that you saw?
Are they illegal to keep as pets?
Not owls, no. Not here in New Jersey.
They're predators. They wouldn't be a good pet.
Yeah, these guys.